Hello, good evening, guys. I hope you are doing well wherever you are in the world. At 9 o'clock, in just under 30 minutes, hopefully we've got Seth coming in, who's a survivor who's featured on the Soft White Underbelly. In the meantime, I've been speaking to Craig about the Starmer rent boy case, and there's an article that Craig has sent me that I'm going to read you, and I'm going to try and keep a straight face, folks. So it's very important that under no circumstances you attempt to distract me in the comments. There's going to be no giggling allowed. And here's the thumbnail that we're working with today. Actually, we've got one with Starmer peeping at the top. Let me just see if we can replace it with that one, because there was a few adjustments. Download. Here we go. So this article that I'm going to read to you guys, it's from a Russian media outlet. I'm just going to say that, you know, all these things are just allegations, and take from them what you will. These young lads have been arrested. There is a presumption of innocence. What this media article is purveying is just one scenario, because of the lack of research and reporting being done by the mainstream media. We are left to our own devices to come up with our own theories and postulate as to what may have happened here. So this story has been published by the Your Asia Daily, which our friend Craig has informed me is a Russian media outlet. The article is titled Starmer's Sausages. The British Prime Minister did not pay the Ukrainians for escort services. That's the title. And then we shall start the article. We're referring to the three gentlemen on the screen. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer did not pay for escort services with three young Ukrainians. So they decided to take revenge on him and set fire to a house. Well, it's actually two houses on two separate nights and a car. This is reported by the Ukrainian TV channel Politics of the Country, with reference to the British media. Again, disclaimer, folks, take what you will from this article. I'm not saying this article is verified or anything. It's just one alleged theory among many. Continuing the article. Now it is known about three arsonists who have already appeared before the court in this high-profile case. They are 21-year-old Roman Larinovich, a native of Ivano-Frankivsk region, 26-year-old Stanislav Karpyuk from Chernivtsi, and 34-year-old Pyotr Pokynok. All three have lived together in London in recent years. It then continues. Roman, in quotation marks, messed up on construction sites, and also signed a contract with a modeling agency and regularly attends a gym in South London. Got to keep those muscles pert when you're in the male modeling escort business. As we know from our interview with the Punisher yesterday, who was witnessing the Diddy trial. If you missed our interview with the Punisher, I'm going to have to add that one to the description box because it was phenomenal. Put one in the chat if you saw our interview with the Punisher yesterday. Lovely guy when he's not doing a cook session with Diddy and Cassie. Put a 2 in the chat if you missed our interview with the Punisher. All right, I'll continue the article. In social networks, Larinovich writes about himself as a novice model who agrees to do any job, any kind of work, folks, for £20 an hour. The minimum wage in Britain is about £13 per hour. So if he's doing any job at £20 per hour and Keir Starmer has allegedly stiffed him, what an absolute penny pincher. Whatever work he was putting in for Keir Starmer, you think Starmer would have footed the bill. He loves immigrants so much. He wouldn't screw them over. I'm still keeping a straight face, folks. I'm not reading the chat because I know the minute I read the chat, I'm going to dissolve. Continuing the article. There are also rumors that he allegedly sent his intimate photos and bread. Bread? What's that? Carnal relations. For money. Karpyuk, like Lavrinovich, worked part-time at construction sites and dreamed of becoming a famous model. There were rumors in British social networks that Starmer allegedly knew the guys, and they themselves are called escorts and rent boys or call boys. And they say the guys took revenge on Starmer for allegedly not paying them off. The British Prime Minister has not commented on this in any way. Well, he bloody well needs to, just to put our theories at rest. Numerous memes and jokes on this topic have also appeared in British social networks. Starmer was reminded of his recent public AIDS test and a slip of the tongue when he called the Israeli hostages sausages instead of hostages. He said sausages, and now 3 Ukrainian guys are jokingly being called Starmer's sausages. I'm still keeping a straight face, folks. Dare I dip into the chat? Starmer's a greedy, penny-pinching millionaire who's too tight to pay his alleged rent boys. That's from Kurz 10. Right, I'm getting out the chat. It's too tempting. Let me go back to the article. There are several versions of arson. The first is personal revenge. The key question is whether Starmer was familiar with the arsonists and what kind of connection this was. The second version is a provocation by the Prime Minister's opponents, considering that the right-wing Reform Party, according to polls, is ahead of the Labour Party and the Conservative Party, and against the background of economic failures and growing discontent in society. Any compromising material can become a catalyst for early elections. And I was watching today, I think it might have been GB News or someone. They're basically saying that it's the beginning of the end for Starmer, and there's going to be an insurrection, a mutiny in his own party. The third version is external interference, possibly by a foreign intelligence agency, in order to destabilize the situation in the country. The bribery of arsonists for this purpose is not excluded. Perhaps the Russian special services are behind this, because the handwriting is similar to those cases in Ukraine, when Russians recruit teenagers through social networks to set fire to military vehicles. A British source close to the government told Starmer. Meanwhile, groups of Ukrainians in Britain are already writing that this scandal could damage the reputation of citizens. They are leaving angry comments on Lavrinovich's page. We need to find Lavrinovich's page. Did you really become so limited at your age that you put such a pig in your homeland and fellow citizens? What should be in the mind? Is it for money? And how much does cheating cost? Or because of threats? So why didn't he ask the British for help? You thank Mom, but she raised a traitor. Blogger Nastya Melinchikov is indignant. Ooh, we need to track her down. Let me see if I can quickly search this lady who's weighing in on this subject. So that is the Starmer's Sausages article that our friend Craig has sent to me today. Here we go. And at Nastya Malachenko. Oh, she looks like she's on Instagram. Ukrainian activist and writer. And she's on Facebook. Let's see what she's put on her Instagram. 321 follows. Let's give it a follow. Oh, no. Looks like, no. Just photos on there. Has she got anything on her 20,000 followers on Facebook? Let's see how she's doing here. Nope, don't see anything there. It's all in Russian. Wonder if she's on X. On X. Let's put on X. Had a lovely evening meal with Andrew Gold last night and his wife. We went to their wedding. He's on a high. The podcast he put out with me on it is that it's got 200,000 views overnight. A lot of really lovely comments. I will put that one in the live chat. It's one to watch, folks, if you've not seen it. And I'll also put it in the description box. And then while we wait for Survivor Seth to come in, we've got 15 minutes of reading the chat. I'm going to dare to read the chat. Okay, here we go. Come on, Shaun, read the chat. I thought Keir looked like he was in pain when trying to sit down next to Trump. He is in pain ever since the fiasco with Zelensky. And Starmer was over there slobbering all over Biden and Trump. Got to get our long-range missiles fired into Russia so we can escalate the war, kill more young people in the meat grinder so that BlackRock and Raytheon can make more money. I'm entering the chat gingerly, folks, as you can see. Did he really call the hostages sausages? Not hostages. So let's check that, shall we? Starmer, sausages versus hostages. Oh, yes, he did. He certainly did. I've even got the video of it here. Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to play the video of Keir Starmer calling the hostages sausages. Put a 2 in the chat if you do not want to see his smug, vacant, evil face on the screen. Yeah, you unanimously want to do this deep dive with me. Here we go. Show this instead. Play.
So I call again for restraint and de-escalation at the border between Lebanon and Israel. Again, all parties to pull back from the brink.
God, that's canned laughter if I ever heard it. Canned applause. How many clackers did he pay to attend?
I call again for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. The return of the sausages.
The return of the sausages. Oh my God, Freud would have a field day with this. He's got sausages on his mind. Let's go back. Sausages on the brain, this guy.
I call again for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. The return of the sausages. The hostages.
Look at his face. He knows he said it. He's just like, his face is on autopilot, political, fake concern.
And a recommitment to the two-state solution. A recognized Palestinian state alongside a safe and secure Israel.
Oh, we've got to see this one more time, folks.
To pull back from the brink. I call again for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, the return of the sausages.
The return of the sausages. Oh my God. What planet are we on? Honestly. Let's get our peep show one back up. There we go. Peep, peep. Right. I'm slowly getting into the chat. I'm still near the top. I'm a little bit behind. Let me see. Sausage patty. We've got 10 minutes before Seth comes in of chat. A slip of the tongue on a Ukrainian sausage by chance. Steph says you would think that after Keir got shafted, he might lighten up a bit. He's so uptight, isn't he? Claire says those young men released the sausage. Michelle, King Sausage Fingers Starmer released the sausage. What planet are we on, folks? Look at those guys. Did they look like serial arsonists to you? Are we in the Twilight Zone? Alexi, it's like some old British sitcom, or reality it is. It's like drag queen arson time. And I'm not making light of what they did, folks. It's a very dangerous crime. But it's preposterous looking at the young, innocent, effeminate faces, especially on the right with the cultivated, manicured eyebrows. To imagine that these guys are like arsonists for hire. Agent Orange, I called it from the beginning. It's a Russian-style tactic with the honey traps. Yeah. You know, my theory that's evolved is that to get it forced into the news, they set fires, which mean the emergency crews got called out. Media would be all over that right away. They put two and two together right away. Starmer Properties. There's no way to prevent that chain of events from getting in the news. But once it got in the news, complete blackout, complete suppression, because it is drag queen arson time, isn't it? It's just so far-fetched from anything I ever imagined I would ever get to be reporting on in my lifetime. It's ludicrous. Bob says, this is like spitting image. Lol. Rent boys, dolphin squares, and you know the script, you 80s kids. Indeed. Trev, when visiting the PM, please use the back door. James, Starmer knows all about sherbet dip and arson. No names. Shafted has more than one meaning, but at least two of them are relevant. Oh, it didn't occur to me that it was a double entendre when I was picking that word out for this video title and thumbnail, did it? Nope, nope. Would never enter my mind. I am mortified at the... There is a... oh, yeah, it was Dan Wooten who said he's done a deep dive on the facade of Starmer's family life. I have reached out to Wooten. The email bounced back, and I've sent a message on Instagram. You guys almost unanimously voted to invite Wooten on to talk about the facade of Starmer's life, family life. Let me see if he has. Let's see. Oh, this account cannot receive your message because they don't allow new message requests from everyone. So, both of my attempts to reach out to Wooten have been rebuffed, but I will continue to attempt to do so. Let's see. Remove this. Let's have a look. Let me have a look. Let's see. Yep. I will get on that, and we will move forward. Let me keep going with the chat. Let's see what the next comment is. I'm just going to check as well to see if Seth is coming in. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Going into the other studio. 1 second. Let's have a look. No, doesn't look like he's in yet. All right, going over to chat. Let's see. Starmer is the ringleader. Watch Shaun and Andrew Gold's channel. Thank you. Let's see. Let's see if there's any more funny ones. Please help Shaun. Oh, thank you, Bailey. Help Shaun get to 1 million subs. Appreciate that. Let's see. Any more? Scrolling down. Sausage Party. Oh my goodness. It's like bang to rights. Crag says, I wonder if he had prosecuted them before or been the lawyer with him, being a human rights lawyer. Well, we know he was involved in the parents of the Southport stabber coming to the UK. We know he was involved in the suppression of the Savile story, claiming he wasn't even aware of it at the time when reports were coming in about Savile. So some of these I can't even post on the screen. Oh, thank you, lady. Shaun, I love your laugh. That's going down in history. Thank you. In his defense script was AI, but commonly used words. Let's see, not arsonists, arsonists. Shafted by sausages. Carry on sausaging. He does sell a lot of porkies. Vote for the sausage party. What were they payment for the 3 billion Kia? Oh yeah, the 100-year deal with Ukraine. Yes. Is it still raining there? It's overcast. Rain is expected. Eat the sausages. Be creative with your words, Bailey says. Right, 1 second. Let me just check the studio and see if. Let me see if Seth is in the studio. Seth's heartbreaking story. Let's see. Let me just enter. So if you watch Seth on Soft White Underbelly, it's going to be really heartbreaking, folks. And it's going to be, you know, a disclaimer one. The date of the trial, it's June, isn't it? The trial with these young lads, unless it gets covered up. Lady Starmer might be a beard. Yes, that is rumored, isn't it? That is rumored. Freak off is sickening. The thought of a Starmer freak off is sickening. Well, we interviewed the Punisher yesterday. It wasn't a freak off. It was a one-to-one. It was a threesome cook session. Diddy, Cassie, and the Punisher. Definitely one not to be missed. Do you think that Starmer's only had a couple off, or do you think he smoked the full packet? From Sean Pearson. Starmer is unattractive. Hello, Sean. Oh, thank you. Slipping and sliding. Let's see. Sausage jockey. Let's see. Now dealing with a sick. Oh, Shane in the chat. Shane is back in the chat, folks. And he is going to be lining some phenomenal guests up for us. Shane, as many of you remember, was the man who worked his magic. This was back when we had those huge live streams. We had many people coming into the live streams with Jaguar Wright, Courtney Burgess, the Made Man, and his Freemasonic cane. We had Chris Todd, we had Ronnie Bow, and Shane says that he's going to come back and recreate some of that magic. So if you would like Shane to come back and recreate some of that magic, he's been absent for a while now because his mum has been ill. And it was Shane responsible for the Punisher interview that happened yesterday. Put a 1 in the chat if you want Shane to come back and start to recreate some of the magic. I certainly do. He's had enough time off. And he's got connections with a lot of our biggest guests we had on during the Jaguar Wright Diddy months. Big Homie as well. You may have seen Big Homie recently on Piers Morgan. Absolutely phenomenal interview. And I think that we may see more collaborations. What about if we get Courtney Burgess on with Jaguar Wright for another round? Would you folks like to see that? I think Shane can work his magic and make that happen. So I'm still waiting for Seth to come in, and he's not arrived, so we will see. I'll keep going with you guys in the chat. So a lot of people do want the magic recreated. Sir Kinky Sausage. And let's see, who is Starmer's dealer? Well, I've got another theory, folks, because many of you are aware that Zelensky's got a habit of the Colombian marching powder, and the weapons that Biden crime family gave to Zelensky, many of them ended up in the hands of the Mexican cartel. And those were weapons that that Zelensky was supposed to be using supposedly for the meat grinder, fighting the Russians. So they were given by the Biden crime family to Zelensky to fight his war in Ukraine against the Russians, but those weapons went to the Mexican cartel. What does the Mexican cartel specialize in? Kilos of the white powder. What did Starmer allegedly on the train was shuffling around on the table with the other heads of the European countries? The white powder. What is Zelensky allegedly addicted to? The white powder. So it's all big one incestuous money go round of weapons for substances, which is exactly the same thing we saw with Iran-Contra, which took me from the deconstruction of the war on drugs over to Barry Seal, the CIA, the human transportation, the Jeffrey Epstein case. Oh, thanks, Bailey. 1.1 thousand watching. Please hit the like. I'll keep going until Seth comes in. Let me just check the emails. And let me see if there is any notice from Seth. Let me see if he sent anything to the junk. Nope, don't see anything there. Don't see anything there either. Nope, not finding anything. Let's go back to the chat. Do you think Starmer, Macron, and a bunch are getting down with the white powder whilst they're getting on with these lads, really sick individuals, really. Thank you, Troy. Won't surprise me. Who was the ringleader of, you're on about the boy band? So, Jen, you know, we were joking the other day that the oldest one is that kid on the left with the sunglasses on the screen right now. He's supposedly in his 30s. But on the indictment, he looks younger than my son, Craig's saying. On the indictment, they are saying that they're in a conspiracy of 3, but also